So I've got a couple of new items to review. I got these for free, so I'm going to open them up and review them. I've already cut all the ties on them, so there's nothing holding me in. I just have to take them out of the box. I've got the new Gamerverse Studio Series Bumblebee. And Prime. So I'll start off with Prime. So when you get him, he'll be like that in the box. You just have to split the legs because they tab quite securely. He is pretty heavy. He is a Voyager, but he is heavier than normal Voyagers. He's got a clean transformation, but there's a bit of a gap just there, so possible gap fillers might be made. Articulation, he's got up to there on the shoulders, unless you use the transformation hinge, which is an additional click, like so. But that is entirely for transformation, that one. So when you pop it back the other side of the pin, it'll be like that. Now, a nice little touch that he has got, before I do the rest of the articulation, otherwise I'll forget to show this, is he has got a little matrix, which is removable. And it hides all that nice detail. So I just tap that back in. Articulation wise, again, you get just over, or approximately 90 degrees at the elbows on one arm. So you get that there, and this arm can go all the way up, practically. He's got waist rotation, but that is meant for transformation. The legs can do the full splits, so you can get a good range of motion out of him. The knees are limited, and that is because of the wheels, because that is your knee joint just down here, and your wheels are here, so literally you can only go as high as the wheels will allow. So you do get foot movement. It can go back. If I use the other foot because it's the other side. It can go back for transformation, and you do get a small click for ankle tilt. Now, another feature he's got, because he has a couple of accessories, so you get his battle axe. So this is in its heavy two-handed mode, or you can pop the handle off because it separates into 3 pieces, and then you split the big blade, and you get a smaller single-handed battle axe. And then it splits again, just to show you that it does separate. Now this stores in vehicle mode, but it goes in a specific way, and it won't store without this. This is Prime's arm cannon. To fit this, you simply pull his arm off. Now that peg will go in that hole. And there you have it. He now has his arm gun. And they are blast effect compatible because each weapon has a pin. Even Bumblebee has it as well. so it is not an error. I know the box art doesn't show the pins. So I'll transform him quickly and show you his alt mode. It's quite a simple transformation. Well, in my mind it is anyway. But if you're new to this kind of thing, this one might be a little challenging to you. So you have to have it tabbing like that. That click means it's secure. If it doesn't click, it won't transform. So as you can see, I've done the front half of the truck already. Now you want to tab the legs together, because this makes this bit easier. So you bring it up, so you can get the arms under. The arms shall then tab together. You want it like that. So they tab just here between the hands. So that's how everything should look underneath. So what you want to do is open up the side panels for the legs, flick out the exhausts because they will literally just drop into place, which will allow you to bring out your wheels. So they just fold out like so, and then they should click into place. Next bit you want to do is come to the top. The front of his legs panels will hinge down and allow you to drop the feet in place. You can now bring the legs down at the thighs. Making sure the knees are straight, and then you tab the top of the hands, because there is the little pegs just here, and there are tiny little holes there, and there's one there. So once that is all tabbed in, make sure the legs are straight. Bring down this panel. It doesn't hold in place until these panels are closed. So you have to hinge it down. You'll have a port in here and a little tab just on the inside of here. So they will tab together. And there is a little port just up here. And that will go onto the blue panel that we just folded down. So there is Prime in his alt mode. Yes, the hands do stick out at the back, but are you really going to be looking at the truck from the back? I don't think so. It is a really nice little truck mode though. So weapon storage, before I forget again, you have to have this first, and this will go into these two tab slots just here on the feet. So that will sit there like that on the back of the truck. So there's two ways you can store this. One of them's in the instructions, and the other way just tidies everything up nicer. So how they say to have it is to unfold the axe, and there's a little tab port right there. There's a little square slot which will just peg onto the two pins on the top of the gun. That is how they want you to have that stored. But I think that is too long. So what I do is I pop it off here, leaving the smaller piece, and then this has a little peg on the side I will put down the side of the truck. or if you can do it underneath, but there is no ports on this guy like Bumblebee has. So I'll just pop that there. So it just tidies everything up just that little bit. Or if you want to have it as tidy as possible, don't have any of it and just leave the clean truck mode, because that is quite nice on its own. So that is pretty much it for Prime. He doesn't have any other accessories. He just has the axe and his blaster. Now if I go for Bumblebee, so this is the box art they've chosen. Here's a nice figure. So it is from the War for Cybertron video game, if you didn't know what these are. But then again, I think everyone would know what these are. So here is Bumblebee. He's not the biggest, but he's definitely the fiddliest for his size. Now I've got a few things I don't like about him. Number one would be the articulation for the feet. This is your ankle tilt. It literally moves hardly at all. So what we've been doing is if you rotate the legs out and then rotate the waist, you can then lock the body back in. It doesn't really affect the look of much because you still got all the pins on the front and everything, but the wheels are now on the outside, and your ankle tilt is the transformation hinge now, so you get that massive range of movement, which I think looks a lot nicer. So if I just leave him like that for now, it makes it slightly easier to transform. So if I just pop him down, you get some weaponry for him. You get his, I think this is either his sniper rifle or his blaster. I can't remember which it was. And you get his cannon from the video game as well. They both have the little pins on them, so they are blast effect compatible. And it is the same again. You pull the arm off. Now this guy actually has a flat edge on the port, so it's not a full circle for this one, but the weapons are. I don't know if that was an error with the weapons or what, but they can have any way up fitted. But I don't think they look right on him. Not on this guy anyway. Now the blaster actually looks alright. I think it's a blaster anyway. That one suits him more because it's smaller. Or if you don't want either of those, you get a third weapon, you get his Stinger sword. Which you can just give him like that. So transformation, he is an absolute nightmare. So what you want to do is, I normally crack the body apart first because it helps later on, but you want to do the hands, fold down the wheels, because that is done for vehicle mode now, and then you want to separate the torso. There we go. So that will just flick up like so. It basically just then looks like an imploded car and person. Now I didn't realise this at the time, but these little shoulder parts are the car window. You want to make sure the arms are down, but these are up. Like so. That will now allow it to hinge round and back into this gap. Then you can rotate the arms, making sure it's all aligned. But before you do that, you want to make sure that this panel, the black piece just here, is hinged up. I keep forgetting this piece is even here. And then you want to snap it in place. Mine's just gone all the way through. There we go. So that's now cracked into place. And now you can hinge the arms and snap the wheels in. Because they literally just sit in a little groove around the edge of this. Now I've noticed that the shoulders have a bit of a tendency of hinging themselves, and mine's just gone again. It might transform, it might not. I'll have to see how it goes, because if it doesn't line up, it doesn't tab in. So for the feet, you want to get these out of the way, but not yet. You have to crack the side, making sure that these are the right way, like so. And then these will tab round. And then you want to get these two little panels out of the way. The toes will fold up. And there is apparently a little slot that these tab into. So I've just spotted, if I can get the arms out as well, but you don't want to untab them yet, like at the shoulder. So what I've just seen is you get a little slot on the back of the body and there's a little twin peg just there. If you can align that before tabbing the body, it will stop the shoulders collapsing in on themselves. There we go, that's already a lot nicer. The shoulders are now in line with the rest of the car on one side. Now if I put the wheels back, so they just literally just snap in place like that. It's a nice little transformation, but for his size, if you are a beginner or you easily get frustrated with them, he isn't for you. I mean, certain panels don't stay locked, like so. That little panel I pushed down earlier, that keeps popping out. Now it sits between two little teeth. So I will leave that till last because that hinge is moving. I should be able to then lock it down via the rest of the car. So you bring the legs up, they will tab in and in the window sections here. So if I can get that all tabbed, locked, I can then hopefully fold the car around it. It's not going too badly. It should work. I'll bring the back of the car now. And then this just tabs in. Supposedly. Like so. And now the front of the car will do the same. And the back's just gone. So there is Bumblebee. his little Cybertronian sports car mode. Now, his weapons do store in his alt mode. Hasbro have said that you cannot store all their weapons, or all his weapons, in car mode. Yes, you can. You have multiple ways of doing it, and someone's shown me an extra way of hiding one of them. So this is what you can do. You can have the sword and a weapon on the back, with either one on the roof, like so. But if you don't want that up there, there is an additional port underneath. So you can have a weapon, not ideally this one, but one of the others. So if I get the little blaster, because it's slightly smaller, and you can somewhat cover the face, because I don't think the sword would fit under there. I'll give it a go though. I might be able to cover him with a sword. If I can pop that in the front. Yep, you can have a sword under there as well. That is probably the best one for hiding the face, being the flat edge. And then you can just have his guns on the back. Like so. So they're not bad figures. If you do see them, I do recommend getting them. Because I reckon they're going to be one of those things where you're going to regret getting them, and then they're going to be really hard to find. So, scale-wise, you can see just how they scale. So they are wheel to wheel with the rear wheels. Prime is a big figure. So that is that for now. I will be looking for Barricade, because I know he's out as well. So I'm definitely going to be grabbing one of them. They've just unveiled the Megatron. I've heard mixed reviews about that, because he looks like he is too simplified for transforming. But as I've got Prime, I may have to get Megatron as well. So that's the review for today. I've got a couple of MP figures coming soon, so they should be reviewed as well. I've got a Takara version of Optimus, which is Convoy, coming. And I got I think it was the Hasbro version of the MP04 Grimlock. So they should be here by the end of the week. So I'll see you with another review.